So this video kind of needs a bit of context. It's a very short story. It requires context about me as a kid. So bear with me. When I was a kid, I had a babysitter, and her adult son really liked horror movies. Well, the problem was, I was a small paranoid autistic child who thought monsters were hiding in interdimensional gaps between reality when I wasn't looking. A bit exaggerational, but I was scared of nothing. They're quite literally assuming, these kind of macro creatures exist, like, werewolves. Why would they be in my basement? That was also the reason I was scared of Freddy Krueger and Chucky for the longest time. Shows I was even afraid of existential things when I was a kid. Right? Now I was maybe 8 at the oldest, maybe a couple of years younger. It was kindergarten years when this happened. But my babysitter had us do nap time. But since I was an insomniac since the age of 4, I didn't really sleep during nap time. I just sat there and waited for it to be over so I could just get up and do things. It kind of sucked. And sometimes she would have her adult son. Let's go with, what's the name I wrote down? I know I gave him a name. I know his real name, but it's like, I don't want to use that, obviously. Let's go with Jones. Yep, Jones, I think was his name. Right? So she had her adult son, Jones, was watching, Come on, Alice, I need you to scroll down. Okay. Yeah. So, Jones would watch movies, mostly horror sometimes, while she ran errands or something. And, the horror movies, it's like, there was just me. I was not sleeping, because I didn't even sleep normally. I was up till like midnight sometimes, just at my own house. But, Men in Black, Chucky, stabbing, screaming, all the sounds of horror movies. I'm certain if you watch this channel, you might know those already. Right? Yep, so part of it was kind of fucked up. I just kind of wanted to go home and not listen to all that. But it did give me a story, so that I'll let it slide for now. Right? Dude also had a Chucky dolls, like the one from The Bride, with all the staples. Oh boy. And you could see it as you walked into the house, so I really didn't like looking at that thing. Like I said, all supplementary material. Right? So, just now we got the context of me and why I had been to see this. Now let's go into like the second part of explanation. So I kind of forget quite a bit. I forget names, groceries, sometimes assignments, but sometimes it only happens when I forget that it's due until that day, so I just make sure I do it. But like, yeah, we've all had that sometimes, if you're a forgetful person. But one time actually, a lady at work, it's like, oh, thanks, insert your name here. And I freaked out because I couldn't remember her, so I thought she knew me, but I didn't know her. I couldn't remember her. And she's just like, oh, no, it's on your name tag. I don't know why I pushed in, but we'll go with that. Yeah, so it kind of, like, I was all flustered because of that. So, now Jones, just for the hell of it, was watching a horror movie one time. Some dude was standing in front of Cotton Gin and doing some he was fucking with some rats in NSFW way, like Reddit 50/50. And the man gets scared by the plot villain of the movie, rightfully so. I wouldn't say he deserved death, but he got what the rats thought he should get. Right? Because, oh my god, I don't know how you harm those things. They look so cute. They got goofy little ears. and he falls into the cotton gin, his body's torn to bloody shreds, hewn chunks of meat. But this one image stuck in my head. It was a cotton gin. It was bloody cotton, and a mangled ankle sticking out of a worker's boot. And this was in my head. This was maybe when I was like 8 or 7, and the image was just stuck with me. Now, kind of fast forward to 2021, a Cheeto left the White House, trouble in the Suez 2, the Electric Boogaloo, and 2020 as a whole, the coronavirus. Oh boy. A whole catalyst for things. But in that time, I really got into horror. Stephen King mostly for that time. But now I've kind of expanded it to his son, Joe Hill, Leigh Bardugo, H.P. Lovecraft. I even got a new book. It's the Books of Blood by Charles Barkley. Clive Barker. I was like, Charles Barkley, I don't think that's the right name. In any case, I'm expanding my, literary, dives, because prior to this, it was just Percy Jackson and Goosebumps. Alright. Now, I remember staying up once, and I watched part of the first season of The Boys, and then staying up another time, or 24 hours, and I watched the Nightmare on Elm Street and Chucky playlist for Dead Meat, and now I think they're kind of goofy. So, I went to the front mall with a friend of mine, and I bought this movie set. It had The Dead Zone, Pet Sematary, Silver Bullet, and Graveyard Shift. And, the former two I had read the book and just seen the movie before, but the latter two I'd only read the source material. So I watched Silver Bullet, and it gave me the funniest clip ever. I'm going to insert that clip right here. Finally, I watched Graveyard Shift, and it starts with some dude fucking with some rats in front of a cotton gin. And oh boy, my third eye opened all the way, like full peak, and I could see futures past, and the me's that will exist and then in past existence, all connected by this nexus of just remembering, right? I immediately called my friend Danny logged on and told her about this. Now, this is just anticlimactic for the me explaining the moment. But yeah, that was kind of what happened. I just remembered something I'd seen 13 years earlier, at least. Because I got big boy autistic brain. Alright, so have a good one. Happy Halloween.